Welcome back to MCOC Al Bundy Rules. I got Chapter 2 for the July 2021 event quest. I got 2.1 and 2.2 for you. Starting off with 2.1. Take a quick look at the team. The nodes: Engineered Fracture, Tech Defender, Armor Break. They also become Heal Blocked. Gain a Fury when you block a heal. 15 seconds, they passively regenerate the defender. So basically what you want here is techs that have armor break and or ability to block the healing and or both. There's a quick look at the boss: aggression, power, efficiency, long distance relationship, blood in the water 1. We'll look at that one more in a little bit when we get to that fight. So looking on the path, I did see a couple champs on this path I wanted to bring specific counters for. However, most of my techs are going to be for the path as a whole and would work on probably most of the fights in this chapter 2.1. However, I am planning specifically for the Mr. Sinister and the Havoc. So want to make sure I brought counters for those ones. Otherwise, the other ones I brought, I'm focusing for the path on tech champions that have either armor break and or some form of heal block, ability to block the regeneration, and or both. So that is the goal. So I'm starting off with Punisher 2099, just someone I thought I'd bring just for, yeah, why not, you know? He has some of the kits that could be pretty good for these nodes, I believe. But let's see. So far, it's not looking too wonderful. Again, also on these walkthroughs, that silly little random parry, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, bug is still active. So we're probably going to see plenty of times where we get a lot of different hits when I was trying to parry. So anyway, get a little damage there, knock off that S2. That was able to give me several Furies that have knocked me up to 5 Furies nice and quick, because armor breaks cause the healing to stop. Stopping the healing is what gives me the Fury. So that knocked me up to 5 nice and quick. So Punisher 2099, that was an R4 one. He worked pretty well. Identified super good. Seemed to be taking a lot of damage on simple blocks. I saw one block hit took like 3,000 damage. But anyway, let's go to Warlock. Warlock is pretty much specific for Havoc. Main reason I wanted him, he is really good for these Cavalier nodes between the armor break abilities, blocking the heal. He can gain Furies really quick here. Makes him really good for Cavalier EQ for the specific chapter in 2.1. Again, and he'll work for most of the fights, if not all of the fights, really, in this 2.1. A good counter. I won't overuse him, though, just because of the fact not everybody's going to have a Warlock. So another champ with armor up will work well on these fights as well. Somebody like actually Hulkbuster would probably work fine. Guardian, some good possible examples. Anyway, keep on punching and punching. Got him, getting some good damage there. So the regeneration, do that little smacky dacky head popping S2, and that fight is in the books. Down, good to go. Now going to move on to the next fight. I see a Thor Ragnarok in the future. Getting a little lag, nothing new. Between parries not working, a little lagging, a little whatever, this and that. Gotta love all the fun. So let us sit here and watch them dance while it's lagging. There we go. I'm going to go ahead and put in my Hulkbuster. Hulkbuster is a good fit for these kind of nodes. Going to be doing some uppercutting going on. Try to parry there. That did not work because the parry is completely broken. As acknowledged by Kabam, at least they actually acknowledged the parry was broken this time. Seems like they just they break it a lot, it feels like. But it's like super broken this time. Anyway, so let us do a little bit of uppercut. So while it's broken, if you're trying to do these fights while it's broken, if you don't need a parry, then don't need to minimize it. But if you are parrying, be careful. Just try to take that extra split second to double check that you have them parried, because you parry and it doesn't work a lot. I should have done some more uppercuts there. I just got kind of carried away. I got too focused on almost hitting 20. Then I missed a chance to get some cornered uppercut fun, but I'll make up for that later, I'm sure. But despite that, Hulkbuster still made easy work of that fight. Kind of smashed on through it. Now we got the Jabari Panther, that cool purple hair, and these high-tech individuals using a spear. Tell me that is not some irony, because when you think of high-tech, you think of a 1,000-year-old spear. That's what we all think of, right? Anyway, let's ignore the irony there, and let's get into this fight. So, I'm trying to remember how to fight her. Been a while. I've only fought her, I think, back in the old event quest. Haven't fought her a whole lot other than that. So, remembering the cleanse now, trying to remember some of her stuff. I should remember not to run into a special. That's never good then. Yeah, got kind of beat down there. Okay, that was not fun. Okay, Punisher 2099 was just kind of bringing for fun to see what he could do here, and he was kind of experimenting with him, and I didn't play too well with him in his defense, so let us move on now to back to Mr. Warlock. Yeah, let him finish his fight, hit into that block, get some infections going on. Infections will help me get this fight over much quicker. It's going to stop the regeneration, which in turn is going to get me up some Furies. And we see the first couple Furies, first few Furies. Oh, first 4 or 5. Look at it, like I said, it's going to give me those Furies quick. I'm already up to 8. So, yeah, you got to love Warlock on these nodes. He did some nice stuff there. He went from 0 to 8 Furies in like seconds. Alright, that was nice. So let us move on up now to Mr. Sinister. So for here, Warlock would work good for this fight. I've already used him a couple times. Well, 1.5 times, I guess. So, one who I had a look on for in this fight was Guardian. Haven't used him yet, so let's go and bring in my Guardian. I do have a 6-star R3 Guardian, but I decided to go ahead and use my R5 5-star Guardian because, for EQ purposes, trying to avoid too OP on the champs as far as rank ups like R3s and stuff, trying to minimize or not use them unless for a tiny bit here and there. So I figured I'd try to keep mostly to the 5 stars, but nothing more than the R1 or R2 6 stars in these fights to make it a little bit less overpowering on the attackers. So that's why I brought the 5-star over my R3 6-star, which my R3 6-star is a 200 sig also. And we see I did an outstanding job blocking that attack with my head. Alright, so do a little bit of hitting, and I did a little energy power drain, so I need to get that S2 out. Not only is the parry completely busted, but it feels like Dex just seems off too to me. Maybe that's just me. Maybe I was just kind of off. I don't know, but it seems like when I'm trying to do some of the Dexing is just not really going when I want it to. But that could be my imagination. The parry is not my imagination. Alright, let's do a little bit of damage, working him on up. Let's knock out this S2, get some damage. He did get some regeneration there, making this fight a little bit longer. I haven't been controlling the regeneration very well at all, that is for sure. Let's go ahead, get that S2 out, and try to get this fight finished, which feels like this fight's been taking an eternity, which most Guardian fights don't feel like that. And I'm trying to get out that S1. There we go. And this should wrap this fight up. And boom, down he goes. So now I am going to move on over to the next one. And I see in our future a Hulkbuster. So let me ask you, when you need to fight a Hulkbuster, who are you going to fight a Hulkbuster with? Why, another Hulkbuster, of course. I mean, come on. Hulkbuster versus Hulkbuster. Okay, making sure the parry's working. You notice I'm going to be a little bit slower, hopefully most of the time after my parry. Waiting like a split second longer than I normally would, making sure my parries work is my current goal. Just knowing the parries just aren't working very effectively. I'd guess probably 25 to 35% of the time the parry just doesn't work as it should right now. Is my current just completely made up number, as most statistics are made up, just as fair warning. All right, and there we go. So I got that S2 in, power drain him, and I'm just doing some uppercut melee, boom, 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 take that, yeah, boom, boom. You know what, let's do a boom, yeah, take that, now let's take another uppercut, yeah. Now let's go ahead and, you know what, let's do another boom, yeah. I love Hulkbuster, by the way, he's so fun to play. How many champs out there can do that? There's a few out there that can do something kind of similar, but that's just so much fun. Boom, 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 yeah. Okay, let's get to the boss now. So, I brought my Mr. Fantastic for this. By no reason overly specific, but I figured he'd be fun for this. A few minor reasons: physical resistance, aggressive prowess. So, going to be gaining prowess. Can remove by striking them. Remove a stack. Power efficiency. Their attacks cost 50% less. Long distance relation. Weakness every 3 seconds. Can stay away to reduce it. Blood in the water. While attacker is suffering from a debuff, the defender gains a passive. So if I'm getting a debuff, I gotta watch out for that. So no real reason why Mr. Fantastic here. Just sounded fun. I really enjoy him since his buff. He's become one of my favorite science to use. Eventually, when I awaken him, I will R3 him, but I want to wait till he's awoken before I R3. But I do have this one R2 and still use him pretty well. So I got all 3 of the pre-fight abilities activated. So my strategy here, if you don't know what I'm doing or how I'm using him, I got a after buff tutorial on him. Explains all the goodies, but mainly I got my all pre-fights. I'm watching the timers. I'll be doing lots of heavies in order to keep refreshing those or knocking down the Gladiator Ragnarok Hulk. And I'll be working my way up to S2s. I just need to get 2 S2s done while keeping the cycle of those debuffs activated. And I'm going to be golden after that. So there is an S2. So that doubles my debuffs to 2 from 1 to 2. I need to do 1 more S2 and that will get me to the maximum of 3 of each of those debuffs, which then makes all kinds of good things come from those. I explained that in the tutorial. So if you want to know why I'm worried about non-damaging debuffs, check out the tutorial that explains it. Okay, so let us go ahead and keep on hitting here. Let's do that kick, refresh that timer, got some smash going on. I'm not too worried about the block damage. I'm actually leaning towards the block damage because dex seems a little off to me. It just isn't flowing that well. Parry sure as heck ain't working. And with the weaknesses, when I allow the weaknesses to hit me, it actually helps heal me from the debuffs with willpower from the suicide. So those debuffs help me evade right there as I kind of walked right into what could have been a pretty painful hit. One of the reasons I like Mr. Fantastic, he can kind of save me sometimes if I make a silly mistake. So do some hits. I see the timers. I got those 3 right there. Let's go ahead and refresh. So let's do another S2. Didn't really need another S2, but that is going to refresh the timers right there. Main reason I used it there. When you're trying to rely on parry heavy to reset, it's kind of difficult when parry's not working well. So I knocked him down the other way to refresh it. I'll probably work my way up to an S3 now, which was my initial plan until I saw my timer. Get some evading going on. There we go. Gonna go ahead and kick him. Get that, take that. Nice kick. Nice long foot. Got this long old foot, but he's kicking him in his knee. Just kick him in the head, man. Kick him in the head. Okay. So parry, hit, hit, hit. And let's do evade, evade. A little dancing going on. Alright, let's refresh that timer with that little shin kick. And look where I'm at now. I'm at a nice S3 territory. So I got all my debuffs up. I'm pretty stacked looking right now. I think this S3 is going to be pretty nice. I don't think there's much left in this fight after here. So my little black hole punches. Boom, 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 boom. Ooh, look at that little robot smash him right in the groin frontal region. And so let's go ahead and let's finish this off. Yeah, take a nap, Mr. Ragnarok. And Mr. Fantastic, again, nothing really made him a good counter for that. I think most champs are going to work very well for that fight. It just sounded like it would be a fun fight for me with him. And I use him when I can. So a little bit of lag as I'm looking at my victory. And there we go. Moving on, moving on. Got the completion there. So let's go to 2.2 now. 2.2. We see I got a mutant heavy team, and let's see why I decided I want so many mutants. Doesn't that sound like a good idea? I got a little ahead of myself and clicked the path before clicking on the nodes. Got too excited, so I'm going to go ahead and click on the nodes here as I get to this Professor X. Prop X. And the story, blah, 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 don't care. So let's check out these nodes, shall we? Seeing red. So mutant attackers reduce potency of bleed by 90%. Activating special will remove them. Biohazard. Hitting, I get bleed, so that's going to be important. Hitting into the block causes poison. Have to try to remember that. Be careful. Increased duration of effects of bleeding by 100%. So bleed immune champs are going to be good, and or champs that aren't too overly hurt by bleeding or benefits, such as like maybe an Omega, or maybe someone would say the Horseman pre-fight will all be good for that. If not, I can get rid of the bleed debuff. They won't hurt me too bad if I keep them going. I do have to be kind of careful in hitting into the block. As we see, I got poisons there. I get a little ahead of myself sometimes, and get a little forgetful and hit into the block with Biohazard. Actually, I do that a lot, and I kind of went ahead and got the fall through champs kind of annoy me. I kind of hate sitting there looking at timers. It's kind of aggravating. If I'm paying attention, they're not hard at all. I just forget to look at the timer. It just annoys me looking at timers. Anyway, any node, or if I were to look at a timer, I'm automatically annoyed. And so I see an S2 I am trying to bait out. Trying to bait that S2. Come on, you. Give me that S2. Stop being a butthead. Throw that S2. Okay, unblockable. Okay, and let us. Okay, so we have that falter going on. Wait for the red to go away. Oh, and as I was watching the falter thingy majiggy, I got hit by an S1 right on the kisser. Ouch. That's okay. I can do some back, and my S2s are just cooler looking. So let's go and invade that S2. Erupt that channeling. We'll see the falter coming up, the timer. Falter ready. Kind of backed up while it's going. Let's watch out for this S1. I'm going to try to go ahead and get that falter away. Okay, now the timer is gone. That red is gone. So let's go ahead and do this, and this. If you're not sure what I'm doing or why I'm doing it with with Apocalypse, I do have a tutorial on him. By the way, very useful. A lot can do. It can do a lot more than I was showing there. I was playing kind of simple style, but he is an amazing champ. For some reason, some people still think he's mainly only good for his synergies or pre-fight. That is so not true. He's an amazing champ standalone. Anyway, let us go on to Medusa. And who shall we use here? Lag. Okay, that's enough lag song. Let's just kind of, come on, bam. There we go. Thank you for those hamsters must have got fed. They got their second wind. Got those servers working. Okay, let's use our Omega Red. And so we are seeing all those bleeds on him, but we ain't tripping over those. That's just making him a little more happy, isn't it? Okay, so I'm even worried about removing them from Omega. And I'm taking a little bit of, look at that little ninja deck style from Medusa. Don't you love it when the AI just goes all ninja on you? Okay, so let's do some S2. Smacky wacky. Okay. Trying to get those up, but I'm also trying to avoid the living strands. Got to be careful there. Don't want to get punished with the living strands getting too aggressive. Trying to get those infections up, heading into that block. Go ahead, evade that heavy. Alright, there we go. Infections. And Medusa is getting ready to take a nap. Face down. Out. Just face planted. Boom! Alright. Let's go to the next little lady we're going to attack. This is going to be Phoenix. So who do we want to use here? You know what? I mainly brought Colossus as kind of a little counterpart to maybe I haven't R5'd him yet. I kept saying for a long time, months if not a year or more, that I wasn't going to R5 him until I pulled an Omega. Finally got the Omega. So, and I got my Omega ranked up, so now I'm bringing Colossus. I do plan on R5'ing him soon, but even as an R4, dude's pretty bad. Pretty bad as in a good way. It's a good way. Give you some old 80s slang. I'm bad. Alright. So Perry Heavy's there. Colossus and Omega Red have quickly become one of my favorite duos in the game. And that's probably old news for most of you, but it took me so long to get an Omega. I mean, I just pulled a 5-star Omega less than a month ago, then had to rank him up. ISO is the biggest issue and all that, not the resources, trying to get enough ISO to R5 them. Then I got my SIG going on. So we see me whiffing through as her awakened ability healed up a lot of her health. I wasn't paying too much attention. And so let's just finish off. But Colossus and Omega, they are fun to work with together. And 1%. Let's just try to get this last hit. There we go. Pretty easy fight. I am Groot is next. Who do we want to use an I am Groot? Well, guess what? Doesn't matter because I'm lagging. There we go. Let's go to no, I'm not using Apocalypse. Psych. I am going to his pre-fight. Yeah, let's activate that. Let's go to another one of my favorite duos. Apocalypse and Psylocke is one of my favorite duos. Well, Apocalypse and a few different mutants are some of my favorite duos. Gotta love Apocalypse. So, for those of you familiar with my channel, watch my channel, know I love Psylocke. I use her almost every month on CavQ. Use her in a lot of different things. I loved her before Apocalypse Horseman Synergy. Love her 100 times more after because of her damage now. So if you're not familiar, see a little bit of what she does here, and then go ahead and watch some of my other many videos on her. Got a whole bunch of them, by the way. Really enjoy her, and you're probably going to see why I enjoy her here. So we got the power. Like, I do have a tutorial on her too if you're trying to understand what I'm doing on the power. There's several ways to do power control with her. There's like 5 ways off the top of my head you can completely control the power. I'm doing my favorite way right now. And as I'm working up to an S2, that S2, those backdraft intercepts are sweet, aren't they? Permanent power lock, nice little AS2 right there. Yeah, for those of you who don't know why I like her, I think that gives you a little bit of a clue. So let's go to the next one now. She did some nice damage there. Moving on to this guy. I hope he doesn't go on invisible on me, moving too slow, right? Okay, Drax. And your Y is Gamora self. Let's bring back home my Psylocke, shall we? She was fun the first time. I really enjoyed using her, and I loved not pretty dang good damage going along with this. I've done side-by-side comparisons with her too on champs like Magic, on Cable. She can more than hold her own against some very well-acknowledged great champs, and to include Cable with the Horseman activated. All right. So let us trying to do what I do. There we go. I got him right where I want him. That's what I wanted. So let's go ahead and get a little crazy on him now, shall we? Yeah. Okay. He doesn't want to take the bait. That's okay. He really doesn't want to take the bait. But I still got him where I want him. There we go. Run right into my foot, you silly little Drax. And there we go. Alrighty. There we go. And I think we're in about night time. Ain't so invisible now, are you, Drax? Okay. Who we got next? Who wants some more of this? Mr. Beast. Beast. Who shall we use to beat up Beast? Let's break out good old Omega Red. Yeah. Alright. Omega was my most wanted champ for years. I mean, I wanted this guy so bad for so long. When I finally pulled him recently, and it was as a 5-star and as a 6-star, and I do believe 5-star is going to phase out a bench, but I think it's still a long way, so I was still very happy to get him, as this, in fact, was really nice because it made it easier to awaken him. It had plenty of awakening gems, and had plenty of 5-star sig, so I was able to awaken and max sig him right away. And I see what all the hype was. I've been wanting him for so long, and he is fun. He has me as primary constant suicide user. I've done videos on why I only use suicide masteries unless it's like a very rare short-term situation. It's just too much fun. And with that being said, we're already on the boss. Mr. Yellow Jacket. Okay, don't care about your little talkie. So let us click on here. I had brought my Professor X for this fight. We're looking at the notes, basics. We see aggressive. So it can be more aggressive. We see arc overload between the armor up buff and the regeneration every 15 seconds. That's for 6 seconds. Missing in action 2. Whenever a buff on defender expires, attacker lands a heavier special is be faltered. So they'll be faltered. If I don't, I'm faltered. I don't like those nodes, but so be it. I hate watching the timer. Special 1 is unblockable, so I got to make sure I back up. You got to have a little distance before you try to dex at S1. And while they're down, inflicted non-damage debuff, the defender gains a fury. So when I am inflicted with the non-damage debuff, they gain a fury. So I mainly brought Professor X for this fight because I didn't want to pay attention to the falter debuffs. I'm trying to knock them down on time, and especially I'm trying to create space from the S1 unblockable. I figure I'd just get him up to his 25. There we go. Charges. Now I don't have to worry about the falter. So that was my plan there. So again, if you're not too familiar on Yellow Jacket, just make sure, try to remember to not finish off your combos if he has a full ball. Don't do what I just did. Yeah, I saw that coming. Anytime you forget and do a 5-hit combo, they always throw the special after. He knows when you just get too gung-ho. So best thing to do is stop at 4 hits with the light. That way you can back up and get far enough back to a dex at S1, especially when it's unblockable. If you're too close, you're going to get clipped. So getting my charges up. Trying to bait out that S1. If not, at least get my charges up to 100. Alright. And I'm going to go ahead and there we go. Got the 100. Let's do an S3. Let's build up a few prowess by striking after the specials. Try to get going a little bit. Has started off a little sluggish in this fight. But as long as I don't do anything silly, I can make up for it. That's a little S2 there, a little damage. Okay, build some prowess. Okay, nice. Let's build up another prowess. Nice. Okay. Let's refresh that timer. And let's... Oops, 5-hit combo. I knew. As soon as I did that 5th medium, just out of... Sometimes you forget. You go by instincts. You fight so many thousands of times a certain way and having to adjust the fight style. Sometimes just forget. Muscle memory. So that was just bad fighting. I made the same silly mistake twice. Beginner, rookie mistake on Yellow Jacket. So that was just poor fighting. Professor X should have easily soloed that fight. I just play like garbage. So hopefully I can do a little better with my side lock here. The falter... when the falter is on them, I get confused. So the way I did that, when I saw the timer, I did a parry heavy to set the within that 4 seconds, and I just ran right into a fist. I don't know. Wow. Okay, that was okay. I'm not sure what happened on that one, but I guess he knew I was coming. Telegraphed, I guess. Okay, so that was kind of ugly. So my first 2 fights have just been poor fighting on my side. Just no other excuse than just sloppy fighting. So tried to do a parry there, got beat down. That one was a Kabam parry issue. Let's do a parry heavy, and there we go. Let's avoid be better. Hopefully I learned my lesson on those unblockable S1s by now. And I probably don't have to worry about getting too gung-ho with Colossus because I fight him like most with parry heavy anyway. So should be fine there. See that approaching falter coming in. But I went ahead and got that special and in time. Got it over there. And I was trying to dex out of that S2 for some reason, didn't go, and try to parry there, and I got beat down. Okay then. So allow a little bit of extra health or wiggle room if you are doing these fights with the current bugs in the game. The game is like so bugged, it's close to broken right now, but we can still get by, right? We can make it. I could wait if I wanted to, but I don't want to wait. Who wants to wait? Let's just work through. It gives me a little extra challenge. And gives me something to blame on when I make dumb mistakes. Alright, down he goes. That was ugly, but hey, we got it done. No items used, no resources, blah, 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 blah. Good to go. Don't forget, I already got Chapter 1 up. Chapter 3 will be up soon, and every month I do Cavalier difficulty item-free walkthrough. So be sure to click that top left icon coming up around now, and subscribe to MCOC Al Bundy Rules. Turn those notifications on so you get the notifications of those videos, those walkthroughs. I got
got walkthroughs and variants on story mode, and I got great tutorial, massive damage house. I got all kinds of cool stuff. Check it all out. Enjoy it all. It's so much fun. As always, thanks so much for watching.